The story begins during the lively engagement party of a young woman named Danica. Among the guests are her best friend Ava, Ava's ex-boyfriend Milo, and Danica's fiance Teddy. The four of them have shared a close bond since high school, carrying years of friendship and complicated history. After the celebration, they decide to relive old times by going for a late-night drive. On the road, they unexpectedly run into another familiar face, Stevie, an old friend from their school days. But Stevie's life had spiraled after graduation. Her father had run off with her college savings, leaving her struggling to survive on odd jobs. Despite the awkwardness, the group welcomes her into the car. It happens to be the 4th of July, and like everyone else in town, they're headed to see the fireworks. The mood shifts when Teddy recklessly steps into the middle of the road, daring a car to hit him. At the last second, Milo saves him by pulling him out of harm's way. Their laughter dies quickly as another vehicle swerves to avoid Teddy, slamming into a roadside barrier. The car teeters on the cliff's edge. In a panic, the group rushes forward, desperately trying to stabilize it. Inside, the driver is still alive, but despite their best efforts, the car slips over the edge and crashes into the ravine below. Ava and Stevie beg to help the victim, refusing to just abandon someone in need. But Teddy insists he has already called the police and urges the group to leave before anyone can connect them to the accident. Tension rises. Ava and Stevie want to stay, but the others, led by Teddy, choose silence. They drive away, passing a police car en route, and eventually arrive at Teddy's house. There, Teddy assures them that his father will handle everything. All they have to do is stay quiet. After hesitation, even Ava reluctantly agrees to the pact. The story jumps forward 1 year. Ava returns to her hometown, haunted by guilt. At the airport, she meets a young woman named Tyler, who happens to be traveling to the same destination. Ava offers her a ride with Milo, and during the drive, Tyler reveals she is creating a horror podcast about a brutal massacre that shook the town in 1997. Later, Ava attends Danica's bridal shower, where Stevie is also present. As gifts are opened, Danica discovers an envelope. Inside is a chilling message. I know what you did last summer. Danica hides her fear, but the shock is clear. Everyone suspects Teddy. After all, he was the only other person who knew their secret. But when the group confronts him at his boat, Teddy swears he had nothing to do with the note and warns them to leave him out of it. That same night, Danica senses someone watching her. Her fiancé Wyatt jumps out and startles her, but the real danger is waiting. While Danica bathes upstairs, music drowning her senses, Wyatt investigates strange lights by the pool. Suddenly, arrows strike him. Before he can react, a masked killer wearing a fisherman's slicker appears, finishing him off with a vicious hook. When Danica returns, she finds Wyatt's body alongside a message. You can erase the past. Everyone gathers at the police station, including Teddy. His father has already spoken with the police chief, arranging protection for Danica's home. Privately, Ava confesses to Danica why she had distanced herself. The weight of their shared lie had broken her spirit. By the next day, the group realizes someone is targeting them, but the identity of the killer remains a mystery. Milo suspects Tyler, the podcaster, might be involved. Danica begins playing Tyler's recordings, where Tyler describes the 1997 killings, a fisherman in a slicker hunting teenagers who had committed a murder, beginning with the same ominous note. Fear grows when they realize history is repeating itself. But they soon discover that Teddy's father had erased all online records of the original massacre to protect the town's reputation and its investors. Meanwhile, Tyler investigates around town, narrating her podcast. Ava meets her, and together they visit Bayside House, the site of one of the fishermen's bloodiest attacks. Tyler explains that 30 years earlier, a girl named Julie received the first note. I know what you did last summer. Julie survived, though she refuses to speak about it. Ava grows suspicious of Tyler, but is interrupted when the fisherman killer himself appears. Tyler tries to escape, but the doors are locked. Ava is trapped in a cage while the killer targets Tyler. By the time Ava frees herself, Tyler is dead, her body gruesomely displayed for Ava and Stevie to witness. The police, under Teddy's father's control, cover it up as suicide. Ava turns to Julie, begging for guidance. Julie warns her, if the nightmare has returned, the killer must be connected to the boy who died in their accident. She gives Ava one piece of advice: find the killer before he finds you. Meanwhile, Grant, Teddy's father, and the police chief insist Tyler was unstable, dismissing the group's warnings. At Ray's bar, the friends meet Ray, the second survivor from 1997 and Julie's ex-husband. He urges them to uncover the truth about the boy, Sam Cooper. Investigating, they learn the car Sam drove belonged to Pastor Judah. Danica and Teddy visit the cemetery where they discover Sam's grave along with flowers freshly laid. Before the guard can return with CCTV footage, the killer strikes again. Teddy and Danica narrowly escape. Meanwhile, Julie senses danger at home, arming herself before encountering Ray, who confronts her about involving the new kids. That night, the group regathers. Danica insists no one sleep alone, so Ava and Milo share a room. They grow close, but Milo pulls away, conflicted. Alone in his car, he's ambushed by the killer, strangled to death with a rope. Ava only sees his car drive off and receives a fake message from his phone. The next day, Ava and Danica confront Pastor Judah. Sneaking into his room, they find a photograph of Judah with Sam, but before they can act, Judah catches them. They report it, but the police dismiss their claims. That evening, Teddy is ambushed in a steam bath. The killer carves him up, and though Teddy crawls toward his house, his father Grant ignores the signs. Fireworks explode overhead as the killer slaughters both Teddy and Grant, later hanging their bodies in public for the town to see. Soon after, Danica experiences a terrifying dream of Helen, one of the 1997 victims, warning her that she's next. When she wakes, panic spreads as the group realizes Milo's corpse has been found. Desperate, they steal Teddy's boat and flee. At the same time, police discover Judah murdered. Among his belongings is a photo revealing Stevie's connection to Sam. The truth unravels. Stevie is the killer. She loved Sam, who was supposed to pick her up in Judah's car the night of the accident. When she learned Sam was dead and the group had covered it up, her grief turned into vengeance. She murdered Judah for taking hush money from Grant, then hunted the others one by one. On the boat, Stevie confronts Ava and Danica, confessing everything before killing Danica in front of Ava. But Ray arrives, shooting Stevie dead. In the aftermath, Ava calls Julie, who struggles to believe it was Stevie. But then a new horror emerges. At Ray's bar, Ava notices a wound on his hand, the same place she struck the killer during Tyler's death. Ray admits the truth. Stevie had never acted alone. He had joined her, enraged that the town buried the 1997 massacre and silenced the victims' memories. Ray sneers, vowing to frame Julie as the true killer. But Ava and Julie fight back. In a final showdown, Ava shoots Ray with a crossbow. Danica, barely alive, crawls to the pier, her fate uncertain. Days later, both Ava and Danica are shown recovering in the hospital. And so, friends, the nightmare closes. But the haunting legacy of I Know What You Did Last Summer lives on.